Thomas Pocklington Trust. New tech, hands-on.
The destination is on your left. Central beam.
Peter using the Maps app on his phone to get directions to a coffee shop.
Arrived.
As a visually impaired person, it's obvious that turn-by-turn walking directions on our smartphones have drastically improved independence and confidence, whether that be exploring a new city or popping out for lunch at your favourite coffee shop. It's never been this easy to discover new places and get to them without having to ask for help. And that's great until you arrive at your destination, because walking directions can only get you so far. And maybe right outside this coffee shop, but if I can't find the door, there's no sandwich for me. That's where Apple's new door detection feature comes in. Baked right into the recently released iOS 16, this feature uses your iPhone's camera to identify doors in your vicinity and give you information about them. The question though is, how useful is it? Does it help improve independence or add unwanted complexity? For Thomas Pocklington Trust, I'm Peter Hayton, and together, let's go hands-on with door detection in iOS 16.
Peter activates door detection on his phone.
Door double. Door 3.5 meters away double. Door double. Door 2 meters away double. Door double.
Inside the coffee shop.
So, first things first, let's address the elephant in the room, and that is that door detection requires Apple's LiDAR sensor to determine the distance between you and the nearest door. This means that you'll need a phone equipped with a LiDAR sensor to make use of this feature. In other words, one of the more expensive Pro iPhone models, starting with the iPhone 12 Pro and Pro Max. If you do have a compatible phone, door detection is built into the magnifier app on iOS 16. To use it, first make sure you're running iOS 16 on your iPhone by going to Settings, General, Software Update, and check that your phone is running at least iOS 16. Now we can launch the magnifier app. From there, select the detection mode button from the options along the bottom row. For low vision users, this symbol looks like an outline of a square. If it doesn't show, don't panic. Simply tap the settings option at the bottom left corner of the app and scroll to find the other controls heading. From here, select the detection mode button and it should be added to the list of setting controls. When you choose the detection mode, there are 3 different options on the left-hand side of the display. To activate door detection, select the door detection button, which is in the middle of this list, with a symbol of a half-open door on it. Then you should be good to go. Just point your camera in the direction of the door and door detection will start giving you information. Now is also a good time to point out that Apple have made door detection very customizable through the magnifier app's settings menu. Beneath the detections heading, there are options for haptic feedback, along with a full set of controls to select the level of reading detail. We've already seen how door detection can be used outside when we found the door of this coffee shop, but the feature was designed to assist finding doors inside too. In fact, this is really where door detection shines, because factors such as lighting are often more consistent to ensure it works correctly. Door detection isn't going to help navigate around a building, but when you've got to where you're going, it should be able to tell you which is the correct door. You might therefore be asking, why is this so important? Well, door detection can read out contextual information about a door, such as which gender symbol is shown on a toilet door, or it can read out room numbers along a hotel corridor. Just watch as I approach this toilet door.
Door 0.5 meters away sign, accessible, center
Door
symbol.
detection not only correctly identifies the door ahead of me and informs me of the distance to it, but it also informs me which toilet I'm approaching. But sadly, there are a few downsides to door detection as it currently stands. that I should point out before you try it for yourself. To do that, I've come to Newcastle's Northumberland Street, the main shopping street here in Newcastle. You see, door detection can be confused when faced with too much information over a door. Outside this shop, for example, a menu is showing in the window. Whilst that's great for window browsing, unfortunately, it can be enough to confuse door detection.
Door 4.5 meters away text. Avasashi box tea and coffee KOLG aces. As 10 ties icepo. Probably double. Door 4.5 meters away text. Nuda Avasashi box 4 tea and coffee.
It's also important to note that directly inside the Empire app, Apple points out that door detection should not be relied upon in circumstances where you may be harmed or injured or used for navigation. And this is with good reason. Whenever using a feature like this, you should always pay attention to your long cane or guide dog first and foremost. Also, door detection can only detect doors, and there's currently no directional indication as to whether a given door is located off to your left or your right, so do be careful. So, door detection. What do we think? In short, it's pretty exciting. First, you must remember that indoor orientation is a mind-bogglingly large challenge for today's technology, and therefore you must break the problem down into smaller chunks, finding doors being one of the most critical. Before rushing to upgrade your device though, you do just need to be aware that door detection currently cannot be used in all situations and circumstances. Having a reliance on your phone's camera to detect doors means that it's not possible to use door detection in the dark on a street at night. On top of that, you must also keep your iPhone held up in front of you whilst you use the feature, so the camera can see any doors ahead. And that's not always ideal when you have already one of your hands occupied with holding a harness or cane handle, or would rather not have your phone on show. Despite all this though, I'm excited to see door detection make its way into mainstream smartphones that you can go out and use today. So, I'd like to thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you found it useful. If so, please feel free to leave a like and drop us a comment down below. We really appreciate it. Until next time, I've been Peter Hayton for Thomas Poplington Trust, and I'll see you in the next video.